Hey there! Welcome to a brand new episode of Music Express. My name is Twan, and in this week's vlog you will see my interview with Thorsten Stenzel about the York classic On the Beach. But before we start with the interview, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and very important, also make sure to click the bell button, because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. And if you enjoy my interviews and you want to support Music Express, you can do that via one of the links in the video description. Every donation is very much appreciated. Alright, here it is, the story behind On the Beach by York, my interview with Thorsten Stenzel. Enjoy! York is a project formed by German brothers Thorsten and Jörg Stenzel in the late 90s. During the years, they released tracks such as The Awakening, Reachers of Civilization, The Fields of Love, Farewell to the Moon, and of course, On the Beach. On the Beach is a cover of the 1986 pop song On the Beach from British singer-songwriter Chris Rea. The York brothers released their version back in 1999, and a year later, in the summer of 2000, the CRW remix of On the Beach made it to the number 4 position of the UK singles chart, and the track charted in several other countries as well. In my previous interview with Thorsten, we already spoke about the York debut track The Awakening, but of course I also had to ask him about the story behind On the Beach. My first question to Thorsten was if On the Beach was still recorded when he was living in Germany or after he moved to Ibiza.
It was in transition indeed. So I already had my house in Ibiza, and I was working, you can say, in multiple places on it.
Yeah. So you were inspired by the beach of
Of course. Yeah, okay. Definitely.
So do you still remember the day you guys started to work on the beach?
Yeah, I mean, I remember, funny enough, the equipment and what I did, and my mixer. I had this big 48 channel, I think, 48 channel analog desk again. So yeah, I remember how we recorded it and how we recorded the guitars in particular.
Yeah. So was that also the first part of that happened for the track?
The guitars, yeah. Because I knew the guitar is gonna be difficult, because if you hear the original On the Beach, which is one of my favorite teenage boy songs. I love the Chris Rea original, of course, but it has this kind of like a very chill, almost bossa nova drum computer, very chill percussion beat. There's a chill track. And we said, like, no, let's do. My brother also liked the track, but it was me driving the driving force behind it. So we needed to fit that slow chill on the beach guitar onto the new fast 4 to the floor pattern, because the new version had 134 BPM. So we needed to change everything from the phrasing and how the guitar is going to be played, but we still wanted to have the same structure. And so it took quite a while to get this guitar done.
Yeah, so that was pretty difficult.
Yeah, that was actually pretty difficult.
Yeah. So can you tell a bit more about the production process from On the Beach?
Again, this one we started really with the guitars. I had a kick drum, I think, in it. I found this really cool pumping kick drum, I remember that. And like an open hi-hat, so it was basically just and my brother had to play on this, so it was pretty boring for him.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was building everything around the guitar. Once the guitar was there, I built all the keyboards around it and the synthesizers.
Yeah. So do you still have some of the old equipment that you use for the track?
I have some of the old equipment, yeah, indeed, yeah.
Nice. So often I hear producers and I'm like, yeah, I sold something and then I regret it.
Yeah, we all regret what we sell usually, but yeah, some of the instruments I always will keep and never sell.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So in the interview we did about The Awakening, I think you said you made that track in like 1.5 days.
Mm-hmm.
How was that with On the Beach?
On the Beach took a bit longer, because I would say at least the guitars took us a whole day. Then it was 2 or 3 days finishing the first mix. And then we had different vocalists on it. One of the vocalists was Sabine Heil, a German singer with a powerful voice. She did sing this On the Beach. So it's not a black lady, it's actually a white lady singing that. And she sounds very soulful, so you would think, oh, this must be some kind of soul singer.
Yeah.
And then I had this on this one version with the radio intro. I had this guy who's was from a radio station, from an American radio station, and he kind of spoke this intro on this house, on the more house mix, which was the mix that was there before the faster ones.
Yeah.
So he did this kind of, it's a sunny day, coming down to the beach, and then it starts.
Yeah, that's cool. So do you remember who the first person was besides the two of you to hear the track once it was finished?
I think, of course, we both were really happy with it, and I showed it pretty much all my friends, and then I played it back in the day definitely to my girlfriend as the first non-musician, and then we went pretty quick to the record label, which was Tala's label back in the day. And to Sony Music, which was our mother label, and they loved it.
Yeah. So, because sometimes I hear that A&R managers say like, you need to change this and that, but I guess that wasn't the case.
No. And this time, I've been through this a million times. Like, oh, you got to change this, and can you change that sound? And we don't like the vocals. They had nothing to complain about this song.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. So I guess you and also the label already had the feeling like, okay, this can be a big one.
Yeah. We had that feeling.
So since All the Beach was a cover, did you guys have to ask permission from Chris Rea?
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah. We sent a publishing clearance, and because also we changed a little bit the composition and the speed, and we cut some verses, of course, and it was a much different version than the original. Yeah. And we got permission from him. Yeah. And much more later on, which I didn't know in that moment, but we'll talk about that.
Oh yeah. So, but did you get like a personal note from him as well? Like, okay, I like this, or was this all done via the label?
Well, not in that stage. The personal note came later.
That came later. So that's what I'm going to ask you about now. So All the Beach made it to the number 3 position in the charts in Germany, and it was a top 5 hit in the UK as well. So then you guys had to go to Top of the Pops in the UK, and there you did share the stage with Chris Rea himself.
Exactly. This is where the letter comes in the personal note. So. Yeah, I was just, Top of the Pops was asking us to perform, and I was like, oh my God, that's incredible, because we knew it as this big pop show, and suddenly we are there with the club track and stuff like that, and I know Top of the Pops from the Beatles and things like that. So I said, why don't we call Chris Rea and ask him if he's performing with us, because then the whole thing makes sense to me. And our manager back in the day, he said, okay, we reach out to his management, and then he said immediately yes. And I was blown away, because I'm going to Top of the Pops, and Chris is somebody who doesn't like to take pictures and things like that. So we're sitting at the BBC in the garden together, and I'm sitting there with him and my brother, and we ask him if we can take a picture, and he's like, putting his eyes like this in the middle of his nose and makes a silly face like this. So I still have that terrible picture of us together where he looks super silly and we both are smiling on the side. It's a funny story. And then later on, which was interesting, I was sitting there after we performed together. There was a young lady coming in, a very pretty girl, and I don't know, maybe 18 or 16 or something like that, so a young girl. And he introduced me and said, that's my daughter Josephine. And I always loved the song Josephine, so I was like, oh, now I know where it's coming from.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
that's cool. Nice. So how was it to meet him?
It was incredible to me. It was really one of the key moments. You have to imagine, I really admired him. So it's like I listened to all his albums, and to meet someone that you all know since you were a teenager as, a pop star, and suddenly you make music with them and you play together a show and play gigs together. It was like, I felt like I reached the top of the world. That is, what else can you ask for as a music producer or as a music fan also? To work with one of your favorite persons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and later you did some other tracks with him, right?
Yeah, I did more tracks with him, and it it was, yeah, for me a key moment in my life for sure.
Yeah. So was it also something you suggested, like, hey, let's do some more stuff together?
He actually sent me music. And then he asked me if I can, this idea about this song and that song. So he sent me some stuff, and we released more together.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So are you still in touch with him sometimes?
No, sadly, he fell very ill after that, and he slowly recovered over years. I think he almost died, and he wasn't fine. So that's why there was also some kind of radio silence.
Yeah,
sadly.
I can imagine. Yeah, that's that. So yeah, during the years, All the Beach has been remixed by names such as Milk and Sugar, Hitchhiker and Dumont. Airwave did 2 remixes of the track under his project names LV and Cloud 69. Recently there was a Kryder remix, plus of course Mauro Picotto did a great remix of On the Beach under the name CRW. Do you have a favorite version of On the Beach yourself?
Recently I would say, I liked, of course, Mauro Picotto's version. Why I liked it, I like to play it more in the clubs than my own version because it just has a great energy. And he's a very energetic DJ, and he still plays like that. So it's full-on energetic sets that he plays. So I can imagine he thought, I have to make this work in my sets. So I still play his version in the classic set. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And but then recently, I would say the Kryder remix, I think, was outstanding. It's more progressive, of course, more progressive house, I would say, but that was for me like an absolutely bomb. I thought you couldn't make it better, but what he delivered was outstanding, and I like all mixes somehow. Every mix has something.
Yeah, I think the Kryder remix did really well in the charts as well.
Super good. Yeah, it went #1 in the club charts. Yeah. It went #1 in Beatport, and it got over, I think, 13 million streams now.
Yeah.
So it did very, 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 very good.
Yeah.
And then funny enough, I also like the Alok version, which came out recently.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice approach to mix it with Avicii, Tim Berg together. That was an interesting version to me, but also nice and good energy.
Yeah. So how did that version with Alok happen? Did they reach out to you, or?
That started as a bootleg, and then it evolved basically from a bootleg that was over a year old, and it wasn't my work, so it just became somehow viral. Then I saw it, and suddenly on TikTok it had like lots of streams and lots of videos made to it, and a typical story. So it became viral, and then Alok had his eyes on it, and it was complicated because it's different songs mixed together. So it's basically a cover, and then there's another song mixed together. So that's from the publishing side very complicated, because you have a Tim Berg Avicii song, and then you have a Chris Rea song technically that uses also the York guitars, at least the phrasings of the guitars. So it's like different parties all together. I think there were about 12 or 13 people in the copyrights involved. Oh. So it was hard to clear, but interesting one.
Yeah, but I think it's also doing pretty well, right, with streams?
It does very well. It's far over 10 million streams now, and within a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
No.
So is All the Beach also your favorite York release?
It's definitely the release that changed York forever and still does influence it. It's like it's a song that I probably have to play forever.
Yeah, we just spoke about it before the interview. It's like, are you gonna, like, tomorrow? Are you gonna play All the Beach? It's like,
it's a must. It's almost expected. So I can always pick one version that I play.
Yeah.
But I think it's part of my life. So it is definitely one of the most important York tracks to me. If it's the best one, I don't know. I think I made a lot of other good ones. I'll leave that up to your judgment.
Yeah. But it's still like a York track that is maybe a bit more unknown for the big, like for the crowds, that you think like, okay, people should really listen to this one.
Yeah, there's one track that's a chill out track, and I think it is one of my best chill out tracks ever. It's called Dying Star.
Okay.
And it's a chill track, but the guitars on it and the way it's built up, I think that is one of my, I would say, masterpieces.
Okay, good. We're going to check that one out. Thierry, you're active in the scene for a very long time already. Which achievement are you the most proud of?
I would say the most proud of I am of my two amazing daughters, who are both amazing human beings. It's not 100% musical achievement, but it's also musical achievement because both are very musical.
Yeah, I was saying what you spoke about, like your oldest.
Exactly, and one is a little pop star by herself.
Yeah.
So of course I'm very proud of my daughters, both of them.
You think she's also going to be a singer? The youngest one?
Well, the youngest one is already on a new record that I made.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's interesting. Oh,
yeah.
Wow, cool. And yeah, just before the interview, you told me that you're also mixing one of the CDs of In Search of Sunrise.
Yes, I mean, that is an incredible honor, I have to say. So if you go a bit back in time, the very first In Search of the Sunrise by Tiesto started with Reaches of Civilization. So Reaches of Civilization is probably secretly one of my favorite club tracks that I made.
Yeah.
And he started it with it. So we have, for me, this is a moment of the circle, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm coming as everything comes back together. So 25 years later or something, we're back to that moment. So it's me mixing now the In Search of the Sunrise compilation, who started it as the very first one with Tiesto. So it's a beautiful, important moment for me, and and I'm super excited.
Ah, that's super cool. So what kind of music do you listen to in your spare time?
In my spare time, I listen to very quiet stuff usually. So I like chill out a lot.
Yeah.
I even have a classic playlist that I like because I like classical music. Yes, I think sometimes maybe a soundtrack or something, and a little bit less. And funny enough, I enjoy also R&B and black music, because it's a bit more. I like Afrobeats also to listen to because it's a bit more slow down. But sometimes I blast 138 BPM.
Yeah.
In the car, and I like it. I mean, to be honest, I love all the music genres, and it was always hard for me to say, okay, I'm this or I'm that. But probably trance has for me the most emotional energy.
Yeah.
So that is the music with the most driving and goosebumps moments on the dance floor when it comes to club music. I think that's the number one for me.
Yeah. So is there still a genre that you never produced, but you still would like to produce one day?
Oh, that's a good question. No, I actually did pretty much what I wanted to try. I mean, I did every genre that I'm interested in.
Okay.
Yeah.
No Schlager music coming from you?
No, that's not. I mean, if I don't have to.
Yeah.
If I put a gun to my head, I'll make a Schlager track, but it's not happening otherwise.
Well, thank you so much for your stories and for your time, and good luck with everything.
Thank you so much.
Alright, that was it. This week's vlog, my interview with Thorsten Stenzel, and the story behind On the Beach by York. Thorsten, thanks a lot for your time. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you did, make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment in the comment section below, and very important, make sure to subscribe. Also make sure to click the bell button, because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. And in case you missed it, I did a few other interviews with Thorsten. Those are available on my channel already, so make sure to check the video description for the links. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.